So I got started in dog training at a very young age, working with the neighbors' dogs and then our family dogs. Started out teaching tricks and then moved up to Sonoma County with my mom, and we were quite poor. And I trained my first dog to hunt pheasant. Mostly bird dogs, kind of took off from there, just neighbors' dogs and hunting dogs. So I pretty much got started around 16 years old. I didn't know I was good with dogs at first. It took a minute. But the more I watched them and interacted with them, I realized I could communicate with them fairly well. I've been open for business in this facility for 5 years now. Prior to that, we did this out of our house. First going out to folks' houses and dealing with the problems in an hourly setting, and then moved it into our garage in our home, and then we opened up this facility here.
I've been working at Dan Parada Training for just under 3 years now. I do enjoy it. This is probably the best job I've ever had. But we're all here because we love animals so much, to the point where, I'll spend a lot of extra time here just because I want to make sure that the dogs in my facility are calm, comfortable, and happy.
So my training philosophy would be neutral association. The dogs associate everything, and so we take what nature's given the dog and we bring out the best of them. They associate it whether it's good or bad. For example, a dog that would counter surf. You can throw biscuits down for the dog to try to get him to not go up on the counter, or you could clap your hands and scare him once or twice, and he'd associate that loud noise with him being up on the counter, and therefore they won't go up onto the counter again. So they'll associate it, whether it be positive or negative. This is a different technique than other people. Other people tend to use punitive, which would be shock collars, pinch collars, and choke chains, or they use positive reinforcement in the way of the biscuit, where we use positive reinforcement in the way of the touch. Love and affection is what the dog is after, and so we use that. Everything for the dog is in the moment, and that's because of their nose. They have over 300 million olfactor in their nose, and that keeps them in the present. I do think that people think dogs think like people, and it's unfortunate because they don't. They think like dogs. Again, right? When you think about it, we humanize our dogs way too much. We put all our emotions on our dogs, and our dogs never put their emotions on us, and we tend to treat them like people and spoil them, and that doesn't make for a very well-behaved dog. You're not going to get a well-behaved puppy to adult dog under 2 years. To have that awesome, take everywhere, off leash, nothing bothers it, it's a minimum 2 years. All dogs are different, just like people, right? You have to adapt to the dog to a certain degree. Our style of training across the board is very similar. We treat all dogs the same way by making all the decisions for them and not allowing them to make decisions, and that tends to keep them well balanced and happy.
A calm and confident dog is a dog that listens and has boundaries and takes direction very well. Most people come here for leash aggression, dog aggression, leash pulling, and other issues like stay, leave it here, which is mostly what we teach of the dog that just doesn't necessarily listen because they haven't been taught how to do that yet.
The top 3 things that people do wrong with their dog: they don't train it, they let it sleep on the bed, and they put all their emotions on them. Train your dog. Spend the time and train your dog, right? Give it boundaries, teach it what you need it to know, but spend the time to train it, and then love it the rest of your life.